Hello, everyone. This is the third time, but I know that this time everything will work because I'm streaming using the browser. I prefer using OBS Studios because by using OBS, I'm able to share my screen with you so you can see what articles I'm reading. Because today I wanted to do a special edition of the live video. Well, not a special edition because we'll probably keep this format, but a different, but actually do a different format. I'm gonna wait a bit until everyone joins the live stream again because we had technical problems. We will probably have to change the streaming location because here there's only one internet company who provides internet on this street. So I wanted to do some bad publicity, but I won't do that because I may get sued. But yeah, if you don't know me already, I'm Petro. I'm one of the founders of Wellcode. Wellcode is an educational platform where everyone can learn how to write code. You don't need to have any prior experience. You just need to be hardworking and curious. If you just joined this live stream, don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to share the link with your friends. Please share this link on our Facebook group. If there's any moderator here online, please share this link. So let's bring everyone on this live stream and start talking about the hottest topics in computer science. There are a lot of interesting articles which appeared this week, and I'm gonna talk about them. I'm gonna discuss them with you. I'm very curious about your opinions. And also, I want to improve my English. I started taking English classes last week, and hopefully my pronunciation will be better in the next live videos. And also, I hope I'll be able to find my words faster. Okay, so Razvan, if you can please share the link of the video on the two on the two Facebook groups and also in this chat, because then I'm gonna share it on our Facebook page. Hello, Penguin. Hello, HTML Master. Hello, Ovidio. I'm so excited that you are joining this live for the third time. We had technical problems. We didn't promote this. We'll probably change the format of the live stream. We're going to talk about some of the hottest topics in technology. I won't only talk about one idea for 1 hour. Hello, Okta. Hello, Cosmin. Hello, Paul. I'm so excited that you are all here. So today I'm going to talk about the most interesting articles, in my opinion, on Hacker News. If you don't know Hacker News, I really recommend you read this website. It's a aggregator. Everyone can submit links for articles. You can learn a lot of new things from there. And also the comment section is very interesting. It's not only the news that are there are also the comments of the news. There are a lot of smart people over there expressing their opinions. I remember when there was the Cambridge Analytica scandal of Facebook, there were a lot of interesting comments about the topic. So make sure you also read the comments if you're reading this website. Yeah, and if you join the if you enter the website, you'll see it looks it looks a bit boring, but don't get yourself fooled by that. You can click any article and see that there's a lot of valuable information over there. Hello, Mihai. For everyone who joined the live stream lately, don't forget to hit the like button right now. This way we will bring more people to this live stream and you'll have a lot of interesting people to talk to. I'm gonna start going through the articles and we'll start a discussion about the articles. I'm very curious about your opinion. I used to like the radio shows where the host will read the newspapers and then he would take live calls. hopefully after I finish my after I fix my internet connection, I'll be able to do that as well. So I'd be very excited to have you join in the live and talk with you directly, not only in the chat on the side. Ovidio is asking me, when will I do another giveaway? I'll do another giveaway when we reach 10,000 subscribers. Also, another very important thing, we qualified for the semi-final round of Startarium. This is a startup competition, a pitch competition. We'll go to Bucharest tomorrow. On Tuesday, there's a competition, and we have the chance of winning 50,000 euros, which will help us move a lot faster and implement more features on the platform. So make sure you keep an eye on our Facebook page, because we'll be sharing updates. There will also be a popularity contest, so you can vote for us, and whoever gets the most votes gets 5,000 euros. So be sure you follow us on Facebook if you want to help us grow, and because we'll use all that money to improve the platform. We won't take it and just use it to have fun. No, we will invest it in the platform. Yeah. Hello, Eamon. Hello, Catalin. And now let's start with the first article. I'm so excited to experiment with this kind of format. This is the first article on CNBC. The articles will be in the chronological order as I found them. So I started looking for articles on Monday because I knew I'm gonna change the format. So let's see how everything works out. The links will be in the chat here on your right side. And let's start discussing them. So if you have any comments regarding the articles, any kind of opinions, let's start a discussion and let's see what you guys think about them. So the title says the following: Facebook exodus. Nearly half of the young users have deleted the app from their phone in the last year, says study. A new survey of more than 3,400 US Facebook users finds that 44% of users ages 18 to 29 have deleted the app from their phones in the past year. Overall, 26% have deleted the app, while 42% have taken a break of several weeks or more. The survey does not measure usage of Facebook's Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and all of which remain popular overseas, and does not measure Facebook's continuing use. Facebook's years of scandals is driving young users away from the platform, according to Pew survey. Pew surveyed more than 3,400 US Facebook users in May and June and found that a whopping 44% of those ages 18 to 29 say they've deleted the app from their phone in the last year. Some of them may have reinstalled it later. Overall, 26% of surveys respondents say that they deleted the app, while 42% have taken a break for several weeks or more, and 54% have adjusted their privacy settings. I won't read the whole article since you can read it on your own. So let's see what you think about this. So the article says that a lot of young users have gone away from Facebook. They say, the article says that they have uninstalled the app. I'm thinking that a big reason for uninstalling the app is their battery usage. And also, the article says right in the beginning that the survey does not measure usage of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. So I think that a lot of users have moved from Facebook to Instagram because Instagram posts are way easier to read. Actually, you don't need to read them; you just look at the pictures. So I think a lot of attention is shifting from Facebook to Instagram, and I don't think that's a very big hit for Facebook, since Instagram also belongs to Facebook. But I'm really curious about your opinion. Why do you think so many people have stopped using Facebook? Where do you think they went? So let me know what you think about it. Raz is saying that the best feature of Facebook is the Facebook groups. That's why I'll still keep it. Yeah, I think Facebook also has. I'm gonna check right now on the Play Store. I think they have a separate app for groups, if I'm correct. Do you think that the parents, that one of the reasons of this is that the parents are on Facebook and the young people don't want their parents to see their posts, or do you think there are other reasons? The article is blaming the Cambridge Analytica scandal, but I don't think young people care that much about their privacy. What do you think? Nico is asking me if I can say how he can learn English fast because he doesn't learn English at school. I think the best way to learn English is to read a lot of things in English. This is how I learned English. This is how I still learn English. I read everything in English. So I saw that a lot of young people have their phones in Romanian, which is crazy. When I was young, I remember that the cartoons, which is in Romanian, desene animate, were in English. So that was my first exposure to English. I had all the cartoons in English, and I learned the basics from there. Then everything back then was in English. I didn't have the possibility to set windows in Romanian or my phone, so I got used to English. I also learned English from video games. I turned on the feature of showing subtitles at the bottom of the screen, so I always had subtitles in games. And also I watched movies with English subtitles, and I started reading books in English. The previous live stream I did was about books, and the way it worked is that a lot of great books weren't available in Romanian, so I had to read those in English, and my English improved a lot. Also, another thing that helped me was watching English YouTubers, and because I didn't know how to turn on the subtitles for their videos, I had to listen very carefully to those. So this is how I learned English. Yeah, Amon says that he doesn't like the latest updates. Are you referring to Facebook's updates? Paul is saying, since our relative starts using Facebook, this app starts being too mainstream, and that's why teenagers quit it. Haven't thought about that. That's a great point, Paul. Courage, I can't hear without my glasses. Facebook updates are no longer so stable. Yeah, that's right. I saw the app and it drains a lot of batteries. And I remember when I was working at Facebook, their main philosophy was to move fast and break things. They want to experiment quickly. They want to deliver more features, and probably that's why Facebook is so unstable. But I think that was also true a few years ago. Okay, now let's go to the next article. If you also have comments to this article, you can still leave them in the conversation, and I'll talk about that. And then there's another interesting article. Probably most of you are from Romania, and this is the reason I chose this article. It's on BuzzFeed News, which is the equivalent of Libertatea, or maybe not the equivalent, but it's very close. And the article says the following thing: Google engineers are organizing a walkout to protest the company's protection of an alleged sexual harasser. A group of more than 200 engineers at Google are organizing a company-wide women's walkout for later this week to protest recent revelations about the search giant's protection of employees that had allegedly engaged in sexual misconduct, according to 4 people familiar with the situation inside Google. The protest, which is expected to happen on Thursday, comes in light of a story by the New York Times last week into the alleged misbehavior of Android creator Andy Rubin and other executives at the company, some of whom still have positions of prominence at Google. Google gave Rubin a reported $90 million exit package in 2014 following an investigation into an allegation that he had coerced another employee to perform oral sex on him. That investigation reportedly found that allegation to be credible. So this is not really related to tech, but I think it's really important to talk about this. As you may know from the previous live stream, I'm listening to Mike Tyson's biography, and you don't hear that much in Romania and in other countries about sex scandals, but those are a very important topic in the US. The society works a bit different there. So in the US, it's way easier to sue someone, to demand money from him, just because the way the legal system works there. And in Mike Tyson's biography, he is a poor kid from a bad neighborhood, and he suddenly reaches glory and he starts earning millions per fight. Imagine fighting once per month and making 10 or maybe more than $10 million per month. So everyone starts seeing him as being very rich, and they want to take advantage of him. They want to grab money from him, and the easiest way for grabbing money for a celebrity is involving them in a sex scandal. And and he says a story from when he was at a strip club, and yeah, you may think that he shouldn't have gone to the strip club, and that's correct, but he's at the strip club relaxing after a fight, and a female dancer comes at him and offers to give him a lap dance, and he doesn't want to receive a lap dance, but the women insist, and he just touches her to move her away. He pushes her a bit, and then she falls over, like all exaggerated, and then she says that he has assaulted her. And also Mike Tyson was in prison for rape accusations, even though he didn't rape anyone. So there were a lot of scandals in the US. I don't know if you remember the Uber scandal. If you Google Uber sexual harassment, you'll find a lot of articles about that. And the thing is that a lot of women are taking advantage of this thing. I know this is not a very popular opinion, or at least in the US. But if you want to screw someone up, or if you want to earn money from him, you can just accuse him of something. And those kind of people who are accused of this kind of bad behavior, those are rich people, and I don't think they have any trouble having women in their lives. So I don't see how they can get accused. We are talking here in this article about the founder of Android, and I think he has tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions, or maybe even billions. So I can just search Andy Rubin net worth. His net worth is $350 million. So I don't think he has any reason to do those kind of behaviors. There are a lot of feminists who are protesting against every kind of news. So don't believe everything that you see in the news. Don't believe that facts happen the way they are portrayed. So this was the reason I wanted to share this article with you. But now let's get back into technologies, because this is not a BuzzFeed live stream. I wanted to share this article, but because I'm not able to share my screen, I'm just gonna drop it in the chat. It's about the growth of various subreddits, and there's a really nice graphic over there, so you can check the link out. And now let's move to the next article. So you'll probably like this title. So with Proton and Steam Play, many Windows games now work on Linux. What is Proton? Proton is a new tool released by Valve Software that has been integrated with Steam Play to make playing video games on Linux as simple as hitting the play button within Steam. I wonder, you may be too young for this, but um, do you still remember the times when Valve used to make games like Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Portal, Half-Life 2, Portal 2? Do you still remember those times when Valve was a gaming company and not a video game distribution company? I miss those times. So underneath the hood, Proton comprises other popular tools like Wine and DXVK, among others, that the gamer would otherwise have to install and maintain themselves. This greatly eases the burden for users to switch to Linux without having to learn the underlying systems or losing access to a large part of their library of games. Proton is still in its infancy, so support is inconsistent but regularly improving. If we translate this sentence, we translate it to games will still have lots of bugs and crashes, but we need beta testers, so please check our platform. So basically, this brings a lot of new video games to Linux. I remember when I was a teenager, the only way you could play video games was to install Windows, but then games started being supported on Linux as well. The advantage of being on Linux is that the batteries of laptops last way longer, and also it's the Linux operating system is free, so you don't need to pay for anything. Also, it's a better system for programming, or at least for programming on certain technologies. So it's very annoying to switch from Linux to Windows whenever you want to play a video game. So this is a great change. However, if you want to do video editing or photo editing, you still need to use Windows or Mac. So there is not a so basically you're still not able to completely switch to Linux if you want to do photo or video editing. And probably the games won't run as well. I remember after a coding contest, after the last coding contest of the year, when I was in the 10th grade, I wanted to take a 1 week break and play some video games, and I tried installing Counter-Strike on Linux, and the game worked so bad. The graphics were way worse than on Linux, and we're talking about Counter-Strike 1.6, which is very, very old. And then on a Windows operating system, and also there were some errors. So you would just play, and suddenly the game would crash. Probably this is a better version. So they worked on this thing for how many years? I think they worked on Wine for 9 years, and probably the platform is more stable. But so if you want to give it a try, if you have Linux installed, you can try Proton and see how well it works. Now going to the next article, which is a very, very exciting one for me. Oh, actually, I shouldn't forget about the comments. Raz is saying that actually Valve works on something for some years. They say they want to make more VR or something. I think. Do you have any information? Can you provide some leaks, some links about some information? I think that Valve has invested a lot of energy on Steam and on the video game distribution systems. I think their last game was Dota 2. Am I correct? So they also have to maintain their games like CSGO and Dota 2, so they need to invest a lot of energy there. So I'm not sure they have more programmers who are working on new games. VR chat is made by Valve, I don't know. Don Paul is saying, easy solve, don't play games. Yeah, that's the easiest way to solve the problems of games not working. Just don't play video games. My programming teacher is using Ubuntu at the university and his compiler crashes a lot. I wouldn't have expected that. I thought that compilers are more stable on Linux. But yeah, if he's using the last version of Ubuntu, that's not very stable. I played CS 1.6 on Linux and it worked smoothly. Wow, probably they fixed it. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. I forgot to tell you that. That is providing a link on PC Gamer. Oh, I don't want to leave the live stream. I need to open this in a new tab. 3 big VR games on development. So this is from March 9, 2018. Game Newell, hooray, Valve's going to start shipping games again. Valve was jealous of Nintendo, how has the expertise to develop hardware and software simultaneously. Okay, yeah, this is an old article. So apparently Valve has started working on video games again. I wonder if they'll be able to release new great titles as good as Half-Life or Portal were. So I'm very curious to see that. Basically, the ProtonDB is a collection of tools. So in the so they use Wine. What they're saying in the article is that you won't need to use Wine anymore. Okay, the next article on Google is introducing reCAPTCHA version 3, the new way to stop bots. And for me, as a web developer on Wellcode, this is very exciting because currently, whenever you are registering on Wellcode, you need to check that I'm not a robot checkbox, and then you will need to choose every image of a car or every image of a storefront, and this new version of reCAPTCHA basically doesn't require you to do anything. It just returns a probability that you're a robot or not. Probably looks at how you're moving your cursor around the screen or how you're typing. And it's so excited. I'm very happy they released it, and we'll probably integrate it on Wellcode after it reaches a stable phase. So this is a very, very interesting tool. If you are already a programmer, it will help you a lot. Oh, and by the way, who's here already a programmer? Please write a comment over here. I want to know whom am I talking to. So if you're in school, write a message. I'm in school. If you're in college, write that as well, because I'm very curious. Or if you're already a programmer, if you have any other job, just write your job in the chat. So HTML Master is in school. Raz is in college. He's one of our great moderators. I think he's in the freshman year. Cosmin is also in school. Don Paul says he's 90% programmer, or it's loading. Yeah, I'm amazed about how good the quality is if I stream on the web browser, and how bad was when I used OBS Studio. I'm wondering if that was because of OBS or if it was just because my internet connection is slow. And now let's go to the next article. So here is the location of the best 100 Y Combinator companies. If you don't know what Y Combinator is, this is the best accelerator for startups. Basically, the way it works is that you have an idea, or you may also have the company, but it's in an early stage and you don't make a lot of money, and you apply for their program. They give you $100,000, and they also give you advisors, mentors. You meet with them every week, and you talk about your progress, and they give you advices. And there were a lot of great companies started in Y Combinator, and you can see them on this list. The biggest company is Airbnb. The next one is Stripe, then it's Cruise and Dropbox. And if you look at the headquarters, you'll see that the first 6 companies are based in San Francisco. So not only in the US or in California, they're based in San Francisco. And then the 7th place is in Palo Alto, which is very close to San Francisco. Then we have lots of San Francisco. So basically the first 13 companies are based in the Bay Area. And 12 out of 13 companies are based in San Francisco. Then we have 2 companies based in Boston. No, actually one in Boston and one in Bogota, Colombia, which is amazing. This is an outlier. Then we have a lot of companies in San Francisco. So there are a lot of companies who are based in the US. There is one company in London, one in Shanghai, another one in London, but most of them are in the USA. The one who's based in Shanghai has moved from the USA to China. So this is amazing. Like the US has the biggest tech companies, and the other parts of the world are not even trying. I saw some interesting startups in China. They basically have their own Google and their own Facebook and their own WhatsApp, but they're used only by Chinese people, I think. And also, I think the government has access to the users' data, so you probably don't want to use those. I'm drinking some water. Yeah, San Francisco, Bay Area is Silicon Valley. Yeah. You can look them up on the map. I would love to show you where those are, but I'm not able to share my screen. I'll work on the settings, and hopefully next time I'll be able to share my screen, because I also want to do live coding tutorials. And in order to do that, I have to be able to share my screen. Much better. I don't know if you heard about UiPath. This is the first company the first Romanian company I think it's which because it's a company. This is the first company which reached over $1 billion in evaluation. It's a very successful company. The founders are Romanian, and I want to check out if their main headquarters are in Romania or not. Let's look on their website. They don't have the address over here. Maybe it's in the terms of use. Yeah, they are located in Delaware and in Romania. So they still have their headquarters in Romania. So this is a very interesting thing. I think at some point they will probably they'll move outside the country, but they'll still have offices here probably because Romanian programmers are cheap and they are still good. You can use OBS for screen sharing. Yeah, I know I can use OBS, but today OBS Studio didn't want to work. So I had to switch back to the browser streaming provided by YouTube. Will we make another coding competition on WellCode? Probably after the international launch, I'll start doing competitions and see what happens. Yeah. So this was a very interesting article. So if you're coming from a small country, don't forget that the main events in technologies and the biggest companies are in California. So I think that every programmer needs to go there and live for at least 1 week and try to experience the tech scene over there, because it's very different. The people there are more interested in technology. There are a lot more companies. They're more professional. They are better. I think in every kind of way which is related to programming. So write that down on your bucket list. You need to visit California. I'll skip this article since it's not that interesting. I'll just drop a link here in the video. And now there's another interesting article which you'll probably like. There are a lot of people who are asking, okay, Pedro, how much did you earn at Google? How much is a software engineer earning? And in this article, you'll see the salary history of a software engineer. It's 2018, and somehow women are still getting paid less than men, even in supposedly progressive industries like software. Whether that be from companies offering women less than men for the same position, women being less likely to negotiate or less successful in negotiations, or any of the other myriad reasons, the results are still the same. Women make less than men for the same job. That's something that shouldn't be happening in today's world, and it's up to us, read men, to step up and make things right. This is my attempt to do just that. So here he explains the reason why he's sharing his salary. And he started in 2000 as a webmaster. He earned $48,000 per year, and you need to be careful about those numbers, because salaries in the U.S. are the numbers of the salaries are presented before taxes. So you need to subtract from that 25% or maybe more. I think between 25 and 40%. You can Google that, but if he says here that he was earning $48,000, he was probably getting like maybe $30,000 or less. Okay, so then in 2001, his salary grew a lot by becoming a UI developer. And this is in Massachusetts, and salaries in Massachusetts are smaller because the rent and the cost of living is not that high, and there are not that many companies who compete for that. So in 2001, he got $62,000, which is a lot for the state and for that year. And then he switched to another company, being UI designer or / developer, to $68,000. Then he became in 2003 a senior software engineer. He doesn't say the salary. And then in 2005, he was a lead software engineer, and he was earning $82,000. And the next year he moved to Yahoo. He became a senior front-end engineer for $115,000, and that was a lot for that time. We are talking about 2006, so it was 10 years ago. The rents at that time were lower, I think, so his progress was good. And his last job at Box, this is an alternative to Dropbox. He is a principal architect, and he earns $208,000, which is pretty good for that area. But he probably lives in San Francisco, where the rents are crazy high. I think rents in San Francisco start at $2,000 for one tiny room, and they go up. So even if he's paid that well, he has a lot of taxes. Also, taxes in California are higher. I think in California, taxes are 40% or are almost 40%. So he probably saves up to $50,000 from his salary. It's still a lot to Romanian standards, but or maybe less than $50,000. But we're talking about 1 year of savings. So make sure to check this article if you're curious about how much you are able to earn as a software engineer. And now let's go to the next article. I think this is also about salaries. Yeah, this is another salary article. Basically, in the companies, there are a lot of levels. So you start as a junior programmer, or as, or as an intern, and then you advance. You become a junior. At Google, there is no such thing as junior. There are levels. So I don't know the reason, but at Google you start at level 3 when you get hired, and then you can be level 4, level 5, 6, and this goes until level 10. And if you click on those levels, you'll see what's the salary. So the salary for a level 3 software engineer is $120,000. Probably this is in Mountain View. And then you also get a signing bonus of $20,000, and then you also get stock per year. But on this kind of stock, you'll also pay taxes. And you have lots of numbers here probably from different software engineers. And let's see now how much a level 10 is earning. Actually, there are no numbers for level 10, level 9, level 8. Okay, so we have one number for level 7. The salary is $245,000 for a level 7 senior software engineer. Probably that's how they call it. And he also gets a lot of stock. So the stock is worth $424,000. But in order to be level 7, I think you need to work at Google for at least 10 years or maybe 8 years. I think I saw some level 7s who were working for 8 years. So you'll already be old. you'll already be over 30 years old, and you will need to work a lot to become a level 7. So you'll probably need to work at least 10 hours per day. Let's see how the Facebook salary is compared. So Facebook is paying $110,000, and the signing bonus is a bit smaller, and the stock is not that great compared to Google. However, I heard from a lot of people that the Facebook offers were better than the Google ones. If you scroll down, if you click level 3 and scroll down, you'll see that there are different numbers here. So it depends a lot on this location and probably on how well the person did on the interview. Then there's, let's see how much a level 7 Facebook engineer earns. He earns $258,000, and there's a $400,000 stock bonus. And for level 8 and for level 9, there's not a number. And at Microsoft, the number is smaller, but there are multiple levels. There's 10, 60, 62, 64. I don't know what those numbers are. Yeah. Basically, you can play around with this site and find out more about how well the companies are paying. I hope this will provide you with a great motivation to study informatics, to study computer science, and become an engineer who earns a lot of money. And now let's go to the next article. Oh, actually, I'll skip this article. It's not that interesting. It's an article about the reason why pencils are yellow. I didn't know how long will it take for me to go through all those articles, so I'll skip this one. I'll also skip this one. It's something about China, about re-educational camps. I'll share this link in the chat because it's interesting. I won't talk about it. This is about global warming. And the article published in Nature says, protect the last of the wild. Global conservation policy must stop the disappearance of Earth's few intact ecosystem, warned James E. Watson and his colleagues. A century ago, only 15% of Earth's surface was used to grow crops and raise livestock. Today, more than 77% of land, excluding Antarctica, and 87% of the ocean has been modified by the direct effects of human activities. This is illustrated in our global map of intact ecosystem. Between 1993 and 2009, an area of terrestrial wilderness larger than India, a staggering 3.3 million square kilometers, was lost to human settlement, farming, mining, and other pressures. In the ocean, areas that are free of industrial fishing, pollution, and shipping are almost completely confined to the polar regions. Numerous studies are revealing that Earth's remaining wilderness areas are increasingly important buffers against the effects of climate change and other human impacts. But so far, the contribution of intact ecosystems has not been an explicitly target in any international policy framework, such as the United Nations Strategic Plan for Biodiversity or the Paris Climate Agreement. This must change, and we are to prevent Earth's intact ecosystems from disappearing completely. There are also some interesting graphics here, so make sure you check the article. This is a big problem, the problem of global warming. I don't know if you remember, but when you were young, we still had snow during winters. So in Romania, when I was young, I was able to build those amazing fortresses using snow. I would create those big snowballs and align them in such a way that they will create a wall. And in the last 5 years, I think we had snow for 2 or maybe 3 times a year. So this is crazy. We are now in November and we still have short sleeves when we go outside. The weather is too hot, so we need to take a better care of the planet. If you're interested more to read more about this, just search on Google pollution or global warming, and you'll find a lot of very concerning studies. I don't want to end this in a pessimistic way, so I won't talk about this a lot. And now, a very interesting article about Apple. Who here is using Apple products? So if you have an iPhone, write a comment in the chat here. Just write there iPhone, or if you are using a MacBook, write MacBook or iPad or whatever Apple product you are using. I'm a very happy owner of Apple MacBook Pro. I'm very happy with it. I also have a MacBook Air, which I won at the contest 5 years ago, and it's still working very well. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, and Don Paul is making a very good point about the previous article. He says that even Bitcoin mining emphasized the global warming. Yeah, that's very true. Bitcoin mining produces a lot of pollution, a lot of greenhouse gases, and it's very concerning. Basically, people mining for nothing. Bitcoin is only useful for trading on the black markets, on doing illegal things, because the duration of a Bitcoin trade is 10 minutes or maybe more. It's not useful to do to buy stuff in Bitcoin. Don Paul, our video editor, says he'll buy soon a MacBook Air. I'm not sure it's worth to buy a MacBook Air because you won't be able to edit videos on it, because it doesn't have a dedicated graphic cards. Okay, and now let's get back to the Apple article. I'm gonna paste it again. You are not able to see it on the screen, but Apple has released a new edition of Apple Maps. And it was 4 years in the making. It covers only 3.1% of the US land area and 4.9 of its population, but it has an amazing level of detail. You can see comparisons uh, between Google Maps, Apple Maps. If you scroll down and you see how big the detail is. So it shows you where every green spot is, wherever a building is, you'll see a lot of details. Currently, it's only for California, and probably it will take a few years until it comes to other countries, especially Romania and some other small countries. But I find the detail amazing, and I love sometimes just scrolling over Google Maps and going on Street View and watch different buildings in different parts of the world. So this is one thing I enjoyed. Mangusta says that he bought a MacBook Pro yesterday and it was awesome. Also, if you bought a MacBook Pro, take care of its keyboard. Don't put any dirt on it because it will start doubling the keys you're pressing. This is my biggest concern, and also do a video review of my MacBook Pro at some point in the future. And now let's move to the next article. This is a long article, and I suggest you read it. It's about someone's experience about interviewing with Amazon. Yeah, so the big companies pay a lot, but sometimes you may have bad experience while interviewing with them. The interviewers may be late. Others may ask you stuff about jobs you didn't apply to, and this person had a really bad experience interviewing with Amazon. So you need to be prepared. So in order to do very well in the interviews, you need to be prepared for bad situations where things go unexpected, and you need to keep cool and to pass your interviews. So if you want to prepare for that, read the article, or even if you just want to hear someone's story about how he interviewed for a big company, just read that. And the last article for today, and it's interesting how the last article is also the most interesting one, especially for those of you who are playing video games and who are watching animated movies. The title says the following: the next billion-dollar disruption. You read about it here first. Hot new technology will soon disrupt the business of Hollywood, and almost nobody sees it coming. If there's anything true about high tech, is that the big fortunes are made when a new technology disrupts an existing industry. The money to be made is greatest when, one, the industry being disrupted is bureaucratic and inefficient, and two, the new technology transcends rather than merely automates the previous processes. Early in my career, I lived through and participated in one of the biggest disruptions of all time, desktop publishing. Within 10 years, a photo offset printing setups that cost millions of dollars each were replaced by PCs and laser printers. Entire job categories and companies disappeared. Millions lost their jobs, but entrepreneurs made untold billions of dollars. Too young experience to start my own company until the revolution was over. Now, as I see another, even more amazing technology about to massively disrupt another hidebound in bread industry, I'm past the point where I can start my own company. Too much damn work. I'm a lazy sub, truth be known. So I'm going to share with all you readers what I absolutely know is about to happen. I say absolutely because entirely by accident I'm uniquely positioned to see the disruption coming and uniquely qualified to explain how it's going to happen. And strangely, perhaps it has nothing whatsoever to do of the stuff I write about in this column. So let's get started, but bear with me and be patient because I'm going to explain this in my own way and without trying to package the concept with a nice, neat bow. Put on your thinking cap. I'm gonna skip the next paragraphs and basically just do just do a short. I don't know the English word for that. Do you know it, Bianca? Who here knows how do you say
Summary.
yeah, a summary. Yeah, I'll do a summary of the article. Basically, if you scroll down, you see that there has been a new technology a few years for a few years about mapping the facial expressions and then moving them, creating a 3D model of the facial expression and making the graphics more realistic. So basically, you can have an actor, put that equipment on him, have him play the role, and then you end up with an animated character which has the same facial expressions as the actor. So this technology used to be very expensive, but as the video cards improved and the CPUs improved, now you can do that with a gaming computer. The article says that with a $6,000 equipment, you can do the same thing that you would that a few years ago you would require a few $1 million to do. I think Rockstar did that in. I think the first game which did that, made by Rockstar, was called LA Noir, and then I think they integrated it in all the titles. I remember playing GTA and seeing all those details on the character faces. I think GTA 4, no, sorry, I think GTA 5 is a very good example of that. And I'm so excited whenever a new technology arises. This will improve our lives, or at least will make us more happy. Yeah, it's I don't think it's only motion tracking, it's facial tracking. And one of the videos here is amazing. It's a demo. I think the technology has reached the point where you can do this in real time. So you put all those sensors, and while you are talking, you have an animated character which looks the same way as you look and has the same facial expression. So this is very, very exciting. And this is the last article for today. If you have any questions, I'm gonna answer them in the last 3 minutes of the live stream. So drop your questions in the chat, and I want to start talking with you. Yeah. And what do you think? Which was the most interesting article from today? Which was your favorite article? Let me know in the comments there. I have some time to breathe. It's very exhausting for me to do a 1 hour live video, but I'm forcing myself to do this because I want to speak English in a better way. I want to create better videos, and in order to do this, I need to train myself and talk for 1 hour in English and get rid of my accent. I'm actually very careful about the way I'm talking, about the way I'm saying the words, and about the words I'm using. Cosmin's favorite article was the last one. Paul one was the one about global warming. Amon is asking if someone is from Cluj. I am from Cluj. Pro- if you know any places which have good internet from where I can do live streams, please let me know. How about trying to co-host with other people this show? Yeah, I'm very interested in co-hosting the live show with other people. First of all, I need a place with a good internet connection, so I'm able to do a Hangouts call or something similar, or bringing them here. That would be also a very interesting thing. I'm gonna think about it and maybe bring some interesting people. Probably it won't happen the next week because we'll be in Bucharest presenting at Startarium. I can also co-host with Bianca because Bianca is talking way better in English. She's not that good about speaking freely because she's shy, but probably she'll get used to talking in front of the camera. What provider do I use? I use UPC. I can't comply. I can't complain. The internet is very cheap. And by the way, I need to message my flatmate. Hopefully, he hasn't forgot to pay the internet. I don't want my internet cut. Okay. Have you paid the internet? I messaged him. Hopefully, he has paid the internet. I don't want to live without the internet. Maybe take a look at level 1 tech guys. They do something similar to this. Yeah, I don't know who level 1 tech guys are, but I hope you like this video. If you haven't done that already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're gonna release more content after the international launch. We were supposed to launch international on Friday, but because we qualified for the semifinal, we worked on the pitch. We want to win that 50,000 euros prize, so we worked on that a lot. And because of that, we decided to delay the launch for the next Friday, hopefully.
Do you want to tell them what we're investing in if we win it?
Yeah, if we're gonna win the 50,000 euros, we'll invest it in improving the comment section, in creating engagement mechanisms such as more badges, such as rankings. And also we want to give you a certificate of achievement at the end of the course, so you will be able to see all your badges and all the things that you did on the platform. You also see how many lines of code you wrote from the start till the end. What else? We have a list of 20 ideas.
We're gonna do all this with or without the financing.
Yeah, we're still gonna do this with or without the financing. But if you're winning, we'll be able to hire programmers and move way faster. So don't forget to check our Facebook page. We'll post updates, and also there will be a popularity vote. So you'll be able to vote for us and help us win the $5,000 prize.
50. Oh, 5,000.
Yeah. The popularity is 5,000, and the first prize for the page will be $50,000. So you won't go the open source way. We probably will go open source. I don't know yet, but you can still be open source and make money from whatever you're doing, because you're not paying you're not paying only for the platform, you're paying for the content on the platform. And that's the most valuable thing about Wellcode. And the content will still be copyright. You won't be allowed to copy it or improve it, because I don't want people stealing my work. The work is the result of eight years of teaching, and I worked a lot to reach this level, so I don't want to share it with other people. Well, I want to share it with the people who are learning, but I don't want to share it with people who want to just steal it and say that it's their own content. But I don't think that will be the case. Edward says that he wants to contribute. You can contribute. If you want to contribute on Wellcode, just send us a message on Facebook, and we will tell you what are our needs, and we'll talk about your experience. So if you want to contribute on Wellcode, just send us a message, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Until next time, I wish you all the best. I hope you'll work on improving your computer to reach those salaries that I presented you earlier in this live video. I'm very, very grateful for that you watch me till the end, and I wish you have a very productive week. Goodbye.